All right, let's dive into this. We're talking about an update that's going to seriously shake things up when it comes to user experience, performance, and design.
Yeah, what's really got me excited is how it's taking dynamic content and just pushing it to a whole new level.
Exactly. Like, think about off-canvas design for a second.
Okay.
You're on a website, maybe browsing products or checking out a portfolio, right? And you see this grid of items.
Yeah.
But now, instead of clicking through to separate pages, you can reveal hidden panels with all the juicy details.
Oh, that's cool. It's like you're adding a whole secret layer of information.
Right. And it keeps things so smooth and seamless.
No more waiting for pages to reload.
Exactly. Imagine like e-commerce where you have those quick view product panels right in the grid.
Oh, I see. So you can see extra images, reviews, even buy it right there.
Boom. And think about blogs or portfolios. You can showcase additional content like summaries or related articles without making the main page feel cluttered.
So it gives users more control over what they see?
Totally. It's like choosing your own adventure on a website. You decide what to explore.
And because it's dynamic, it can be tailored to each user.
Whoa. So you could personalize recommendations or even target offers based on what they're interested in.
Exactly. It's like moving away from that one-size-fits-all approach and creating a site that feels more like a journey.
And this isn't just for e-commerce, right?
Nope. Applies to all sorts of sites.
It's like giving everyone a VIP backstage pass to your website. You're inviting them to dig deeper and connect with your content in a totally new way.
Absolutely. Now, apart from this dynamic off-canvas revolution, another thing that caught my eye is the AdBlock detection.
Oh, yeah.
And I know you might be thinking, AdBlock again, but hear me out.
I'm listening.
This isn't about punishing people who use ad blockers.
Right.
It's about opening up a conversation.
I see.
Like instead of just that generic disable your ad blocker message,
Yeah.
you can actually explain why you need ads and offer alternative ways to support you.
So like becoming a paid subscriber or making a donation.
Exactly. Transparency is key.
Right. Building that trust with your audience.
And you never know. It could even lead to conversions. People might be more willing to chip in if they understand your perspective.
Like, hey, we get it. You want a clean browsing experience.
Yeah.
But we also need to, keep the lights on.
Exactly. It's a much more respectful approach.
Totally. So besides all this cool front-end stuff, there are also performance enhancements.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Faster loading times, smoother interactions, better browser compatibility. Those are all essential.
Absolutely. People expect things to be instant these days.
So what did they do to achieve all this?
Well, they basically went in and streamlined the code.
So like decluttering a messy room.
Yeah, perfect analogy.
And it makes everything run faster and smoother.
Right, like a performance boost.
And they also optimized how CSS style sheets are loaded, which impacts speed too, right?
Yep, that's right. It's all about reducing the data that needs to be transferred when someone visits your site.
Makes sense, especially for people on slower connections or using mobile devices.
Exactly. They've basically made the site as lightweight as possible without sacrificing the design or functionality.
Pretty impressive. It's like a website on a diet.
Well, maybe not a diet, but you get the idea.
For sure. So it's all about making things super efficient behind the scenes.
Right, just like a solid foundation for a house, You might not see it, but it makes everything stable and secure.
Good analogy. Okay, now I'm really curious about this page reload action connected to dynamic tags.
Ah, yeah, this one's interesting.
Because at first I thought, reloading a page, is that a bit, old school?
I know, right? But trust me, it's not about hitting that refresh button.
Okay, so it's strategic.
Exactly. It's about using dynamic tags to trigger specific actions for a more personalized experience.
So remind me, what are dynamic tags again?
Think of them like little snippets of code that pull in info from your website's database. Like variables, they can change based on different things like the current date or a user's name.
So it's like your website is adapting in real time.
Right. Say you have a website with a filterable portfolio. When someone chooses a category, instead of just filtering, you can use this to refresh the page and only show projects in that category.
Oh, I see. So it makes it cleaner.
Exactly. And it helps with SEO too.
Oh, wow. That's smart. So it's like giving your site a mini makeover based on what the user wants to see.
Yep. That's a great way to put it. It's a subtle but powerful way to make things more dynamic and engaging.
Okay, I'm convinced. So this update isn't just about new features. It's about enhancing existing ones too, right? Like the carousel, for example.
Oh, absolutely. Carousels can be so clunky sometimes, especially on mobile.
Yeah, I've seen some that take forever to load.
Right. Well, they've done a lot to make them smoother, faster, and easier to use.
Really?
How? Well, they've streamlined the code and improved how images load, and they've given designers more control over the layout and spacing of items.
So you get the beautiful design without sacrificing performance.
Precisely. Now let's talk about something that's often overlooked but super important, browser compatibility.
Oh yeah, you got to make sure your site looks good on everything.
Exactly. People are using all sorts of devices and browsers these days.
It's like trying to hit a moving target.
It is. But it's crucial to make sure everything works seamlessly.
So everyone can experience your site the way it was meant to be seen.
Right, like making sure your masterpiece can be appreciated by everyone. And they've made big strides in this area, especially with Safari.
So it'll work even on the latest versions.
Yep, no problem. It's the kind of behind-the-scenes work that might go unnoticed, but it makes a huge difference.
Right, like a strong foundation.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got dynamic content, performance boosts, and better compatibility. Is there anything else we should touch on?
Yes. We can't forget about the unsung heroes, the bug fixes, and accessibility improvement.
Right, they might not be flashy, but they're important.
Absolutely. It's about making sure the experience is smooth, inclusive, and user-friendly.
Like the finishing touches that make a good design great.
And the focus on accessibility is crucial, making sure everyone can use the website, regardless of their abilities.
I totally agree.
It's a reminder that web design is about more than just aesthetics or even functionality. It's about creating an online world that's truly welcoming to all.
Well said. I'm loving this. We've gone from dynamic content and all these performance improvements to a really inclusive approach to design.
It's really a comprehensive update.
Yeah, it's clear a lot of thought went into it. And it gives designers some amazing tools to create engaging websites that are also fast, accessible, and easy to use.
I think so too.
So we've covered a lot of ground here, exploring all these fantastic new features and what they can do.
It's an exciting time to be working in web design, that's for sure.
I agree. And it seems like the future of web design is all about being dynamic, personalized, and user-driven.
For sure. This update is a big step in that direction.
Right. I'm already buzzing with ideas.
Me too.
But before we get too carried away, let's move on to part 2.
Okay.
We'll explore some real-world applications of these amazing new features.
Sounds good. It's where the real fun begins. All right, so we're diving into real-world applications. Like, how can we actually use these features to make a difference?
Yeah, let's get specific. What are some examples?
Let's go back to that e-commerce store we were talking about. Imagine you're looking at, say, sneakers.
Okay, yeah.
With these new off-canvas panels, each shoe could have its own little hidden section.
Oh, cool.
Like you could have detailed photos, 360-degree views, size charts, all that stuff.
It's like bringing the store to you.
Right. You get all the info you need without even leaving the page.
And for the store, it's got to be great for sales.
Absolutely. It makes the whole buying process so much smoother.
Huh.
Now let's switch gears and think about a photographer's website.
Okay, yeah. How could they use this?
Well, imagine each photo in their portfolio, instead of just being a static image,
Yeah.
it opens up this off-canvas panel with a whole story.
Ooh, I like that.
Like behind-the-scenes stuff, client testimonials, info about the location, maybe even links to buy prints.
It's like turning their portfolio into an interactive experience.
Exactly. It lets people connect with the photographer on a deeper level.
That's awesome. Okay, now what about a field that's all about information, like real estate?
Perfect example. Those websites can be a nightmare to navigate.
So much information.
Right. But with these panels, each listing could become its own mini website.
Oh, wow.
You could have virtual tours, floor plans, neighborhood details, everything.
It's like having a personal real estate agent right there on your screen.
Exactly. And for agents, it's a great way to showcase properties and get more leads.
So e-commerce, photography, real estate. But this could be used for anything, right?
Oh, absolutely. The possibilities are pretty much endless.
It's like a whole new toolkit for web designers.
Right. They can create these dynamic and engaging websites for any industry.
It feels like we're moving away from just static pages and into something much more interactive.
Yeah, for sure. It's all about creating online experiences that are engaging and meaningful.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
So we've seen how powerful these features can be.
Mm-hmm.
What's the main takeaway you want to leave people with?
Well, I think the web is all about evolution, but no matter how much it changes, good design is always at the heart of it.
I agree.
So my advice is to experiment, push the boundaries, and see what you can create.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing all these insights. I'm already feeling inspired. Okay, so now let's really get into it. We've talked about all the cool features, but how do we actually use them in the real world.
Right. Let's make this practical.
Yeah, give us some examples.
Okay, so picture this. We're back at that e-commerce store, right? And we're looking at sneakers.
All right, got it.
So each sneaker could have its own off-canvas panel with all sorts of extra info.
Like what kind of info?
Well, you could have detailed photos, 360 views, size charts, even customer reviews.
I see, so you get a much richer experience.
Exactly. It's like bringing the in-store experience online.
And it probably helps with sales, too.
Oh, definitely. The easier it is for people to find the info they need, the more likely they are to buy.
Makes sense. Now, what about a photographer's website?
Ooh, that's a good one. Instead of just a static portfolio, each photo could open an off-canvas panel.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
You could have behind-the-scenes stories, client testimonials, all sorts of stuff.
It's like adding a whole new dimension to their work.
Right. It helps them connect with potential clients on a deeper level.
I like that. Now, what about something like real estate, where there's tons of information to present?
Real estate is a perfect example. Those websites can be so overwhelming.
Yeah, so much to look at.
But with Off-Canvas, each listing could be like its own little microsite.
Oh, wow.
Virtual tours, floor plans, neighborhood info, the whole 9 yards.
It's like having a personalized real estate guide.
Exactly. And it makes it so much easier for people to find their dream home.
So we've talked about e-commerce, photography, and real estate. But this is just scratching the surface, right?
Oh yeah, these are just a few ideas to get you started. There are endless possibilities.
It's really exciting to think about all the ways this could be used.
It is. It's a whole new way to think about web design.
And it's all about creating experiences that are more engaging.
Exactly. Websites shouldn't just be static pages anymore.
So as we wrap up our deep dive here, what's the one thing you want people to take away from this?
Well, I think the web is constantly changing, but good design is timeless.
That's a good point.
So my advice, keep experimenting, keep pushing the boundaries, and see what amazing things you can create.
That's inspiring. Thanks for joining us today and sharing all your insights.
It's been a pleasure.
And to everyone listening, keep exploring, keep learning, and until next time.